that Obel was able to catch Marvin with earlier.
Obel looking a little bit awkward with some of his punches. Haglar misses a wild right hand.
When both of the fighters are inside, it looks like the first fight, because this is when Marvin took control and he was able to hurt fully Obel.
And he hurt him right there as Obel gets out of there and takes another right hand and also takes an uppercut.
But those uppercuts really do a lot of damage to fighters. When they work to the body and back up to the head, it raises them up and you're able to come across with the right hand. Just like Marvin just did.
Stinging right hand, Obel back with a left hand of his own and takes the left hand from Haglar.
Watch the uppercuts, Bird. Very effective. Once the fighter's down, when he's in a crouch, those uppercuts brings his head up, inline and throw combination.
And there was a combination of 3 punches culminated by a right hand by Haglar and another right hand.
Again, watch the uppercuts. Once Haglar gets inside, he works those uppercuts.
10 seconds remaining in the round here. This is the 4th round. It went 8 the first time. Obel taking a beating in this round from Haglar, another chopping right hand. And here's the uppercut at the bell.
Jake, hold the ice there. Give him some breathing room now. Bell saved him stuff.
Yeah, you had him going.
Yeah, the bell saved him out.
I put it off, man. Look, that's good, man. See how you're going? You rough that bass up. You really had him going, man. Honest to God. You turn right hand on him, too. And you get that rhythm going, you're banging in tight. Good.
Well, we have an opportunity to see some of the punches that were thrown by Marvin. Those uppercuts are very effective against a guy inside. Now you see here, Marvin brings his head up and connects with the overhand right and follows through very well. Marvin has become very aggressive in that 4th round, and fully Obel tries to come back. But he's starting to tire now, Barry. Obel seems like he's starting to get discouraged.
Well, you heard Goody Petronelli say that the bell saved him. This is a little bit later in the 4th round.
That's that up with right jab I was talking about that Marvin has.
They come to the center of the ring to start of round 5. I also heard somebody in Haglar's corner say, get it over with. So let's see if Marvin Haglar does here in the 5th round.
This may be the round that Marvin gets Obel out of there, because Obel's moving around. He doesn't seem as confident as he was.
Left and a right hand by Haglar hurt Obel there. And Haglar's throwing good combinations now, too.
Oh, he's getting closer now, and that right jab is getting him closer. That up, again, that upward jab. And the uppercut's very effective.
Obel with a little bit of swelling on his right cheek right now. Wild left hand misses by Marvin Haglar.
You see, Obel doesn't want to fight anymore. He's moving away. And at this point, it's as though he's just trying to survive.
Obel bleeding from the nose also now.
If Marvin can get a couple more of those uppercuts in and raise the head of Obel, I'm sure he can finish him off this round.
There's a right hand. Didn't quite get all of it. Obel misses a wild right hand. Obel staying close now, and that's very dangerous territory. Backs away with a left hand, but he didn't have any leverage behind the punch. There was a left hand that did score on Marvin Haglar.
Obel's making a mistake of slapping, Barry. He's not balling his fist up. So the punches are not that effective with him. Marvin, on the other hand, puts everything behind his punches.
Yeah, Marvin Haglar always on balance when he throws a punch, and I think you got a good example of someone who is and someone who isn't here.
You notice the way Marvin throws those body shots. They take a toll on the fighter. I think they're taking his toll on Obel.
Obel looks like a tired fighter here in the 5th round. He's taken a pretty good beating so far from Marvin Haglar just in the last 2 rounds.
Watch your head.
And referee Ernesto Magana says, watch your head. There's an uppercut that scores and a right hand that scores. And Obel's still in close and still taking punishment. And another right hand that Down he goes. What a right hand from Marvin Haglar.
Those uppercuts were very effective. Raise his head,
And
he's
that's
over.
it.
He's through, Barry.
This one is all over. And that was a smashing right hand that did it.
Marvin put some beautiful combinations together. He was a technician tonight. With this morning, I may say.
And you can really see him start to get in a rhythm after about the second round. Marvin Haglar's handlers have him up on their shoulder now. 2 minutes, 40 seconds of the fifth round, the official time. And Marvin did break a sweat, and I think he had a pretty good work. I think it's a work that he will say he really needed.
And again, the fact that that long layoff that Marvin had was not a factor.
And it might have taken him 4 or 5 minutes just to kind of get into the flow of things.
Just to get back into the groove. He worked for the first 4 rounds, and all of a sudden, that adrenaline stopped flowing, Barry, and he put his punches together very well.
Well, Marvin Haglar, the winner by a knockout here, and I can't really say that there are too many people in this theater, and let's take another look at it, who are surprised.
Well, here we see Marvin just taking control now. He feels very confident. His punches are very accurate. He comes across with that good overhand right hook that sends Fulio Obel to the canvas. And the way Obel fell, his left leg nearly folded under him.
There was no doubt about it. It was a classic one-punch knockout, even though Obel had taken quite a lot of punishment right up to that point.
Marvin, he led up to that knockout. In fact, the punch he was throwing, he started throwing more right jab, started going to the body a lot more. The uppercuts, once again, were very effective in this particular fight.
Well, after about the second round, there was really no doubt about it. Do you question the way that Fulio Obel went about fighting this fight? He started to go downstairs early on. He did score early on, but he never did hurt Marvin Haglar.
There's nothing you can really say that was disappointing as far as Fulio Obel is concerned, Barry, because, again, you can't change a fighter, especially a fighter like Fulio Obel. He is designed to fight that particular style, straight ahead. He tried to change with Marvin, and it's tough to change against a fighter of Marvin Haglar's caliber.
So maybe what you have to question is the fact that here is a guy who was at 2 title shots. You might have to say, did he earn 1? Did he earn 2?
Well, whatever the case is, he was in with Marvin Haglar. Marvelous Marvin Haglar.
Well, let me give you a hypothetical now, and I realize this is a hypothetical situation. How would you fight a Marvin Haglar?
If a hypothetical answer, I would box Marvin.
One more look at the knockout from another angle.
There we had a better shot. We saw the power of Marvin Haglar's right hook.
But we talked about the fact also that Marvin Haglar is a guy who always seems to be on balance, and he certainly was on balance with that punch. Never really got completely up on his toes, even though it was a long right hand.
Marvin had very good leverage behind that right hook. In fact, he was close, Barry, and that's the reason the power was there.
Well, let's make another assumption now. Let's make another assumption that Sugar Ray Leonard is not going to be around to contest Marvin Haglar. What's next for a guy like Marvin Haglar?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's defeated everybody, and the way this crowd is accepting Marvin, it's a standing ovation.
Well, we should point out we're in a movie theater here, so when Marvin Haglar has a stage, in this case we mean it literally, he is on stage right now.
You are the best!
And Marvin has really done a job tonight. There's no question about it. But again, I think you really have to say, consider the source. There was never a doubt about this fight, I don't think.
Not at all. In fact, Barry, I say it would be probably a replay of the first fight. Marvin, he's just an all-around champion. I mean, he can do everything.
Well, Marvin Haglar, you look at right now with the Petronelli brothers, Goody and Pat. Steve Wainwright are behind him with his pate very similar to that of the champion Marvin Haglar. And Marvin is on his way over to talk with us now.
That's right, that's right. Keep him back, that's right, that's right. That's right.
See a little bit of confusion going on right now. We're trying to get Marvin Haglar in here, and we will in just a moment.
Look good, baby.
All right, look good, baby. Oh, yeah. People are so good, I couldn't accept it the right way that I wanted to, but now I can.
How's the time?
Great, man. No, you know, it felt good. I think the rest did me real good, you know?
Yeah.
I came out real strong. I knew I was ready for 15 if I had to go to 15. Also, I understand how generous Leonard is. I'm hoping that we can get together and make this big money that we've been talking about.
Let's get this on
I
air.
heard about all over, and the people want to see it, Leonard. We don't want you to retire yet until you come with the marvelous one.
Okay,
It's got to be the big one, right?
That is the biggest one.
All right. Well, y'all heard that too, right on
Not
TV.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Not going to fight at 3 o'clock in the morning. Did that have any effect, the hour?
No, I don't think so. I kind of psyched myself out, getting ready. I went with the American time back home, and it did me a lot of good. Plus, I don't like Obel anyway. Nothing personal, but, you know, he just got a nasty attitude about him, and that maybe just wanted to stir him that much more.
We were saying that it looked to us like it took you about 2 or 3 minutes to get into a rhythm.
It did, because, you know, he came out with a different style this time. He was trying to catch me coming in with the uppercut, and it was a good thing that we practiced for that punch doing our workouts.
One-punch knockout. Marvin Haglar doesn't do one-punch knockouts usually.
No way. I like for him to go out professionally.
Ray, what about you? You got a question?
Well, I was saying that your upcoming